This is the Idavox Report.
Bible verse. It is noble to seek the office of overseer. However, he who does should be above reproach, sober-minded, not quarrelsome, only married once, and not a great lover of money. And will you take a flower for peace?
We're going to have so much fun when that movie comes out. Damn it, when it comes out, we're going to have a ball.
Oh, I've been having fun looking forward to it.
Oh,
I've been having fun making it.
I don't know how you weren't afraid of immediately getting pelted by like shoes or tomatoes or whatever that was. That took a lot of guts, Rod. That took a lot of guts.
That kind of happened, and that's how everything snowballed into lawsuit. And I'll let you intro the show first, though.
Yes, let us begin there so everybody knows who the hell we are and what the hell we're talking about. My name is we. Yeah, now everybody's gonna come up with all kinds of fact jokes. My name is Daryl Lamont Jenkins. I am the executive director, my founder of One People's Project. Right over here is Brian Powers. Right over there is Christian Perez, and just below me is a gentleman that we have seen in recent episodes. The producer of 2020, The Dumpster Fire, Rod Weber, and he is going to be, the Dumpster Fire will be seen for everybody to enjoy on Apple TV starting December 1st, and you'll be able to see it in theaters, I believe, on December 7th, correct?
The December 1st has been pushed back to the 15th, but it'll be in theaters on
Oh,
the 7th.
okay.
You listen, man, there is some issues over some swear words that were used in the trailer.
What's wrong with swear words?
I mean, I'm all for swear words, but in particular, I guess in trailers, they don't want them to be there because potentially kids are seeing them. And then it was the kind of thing where I came back and said, I gave you a clean trailer. It's got it all bleeped out. And they said, no, contextually, there's a problem. There's a segment in the trailer in which Vermin Supreme gets a crowd of pro-Trumpers to chant, suck Trump's cock. And because of what it was, even though the word cock was bleeped out, they're like, no, like this has got to go. And so there's just this back and forth with these studio heads, these executives that didn't know how to deal with it. And I'm like, guys, I don't know what the big deal is. We can bleep suck, we can bleep cock. What more do you want to bleep? Well, and at that point, it started to kind of lose even what the meaning was. So, I conceded if it was going to be on, if we're making this marriage with corporate America in order to get our message out to more people, then fine. I guess it has to be taken out. And I agreed to that. The original trailer still lives on Twitter and YouTube. They can't
And on this show.
They can't take that away from us.
And on this show, because we actually showed it at the end of this program. And I am just very looking forward to it. Although I did say at the end of this that it was going to be on Apple TV on December 1st. Now it's moving up to December 15th, just in time for Christmas. The perfect Christmas present. And I'm one of the producers on this thing.
That is true.
And I'm in it, as a matter of fact.
Yep. And here's my lovely wife, Lauren, has come back to join us.
Sorry,
she's dealing with a lot of stuff with our lawyer because we're right on the precipice of a grand jury tomorrow.
Yes. Could you explain?
We're not invited.
You're not invited?
Yeah, we're not invited. You don't usually get invited when you're a target.
Yep, that's how it works. It's a secret investigation, but. So this is the weird thing. We're gonna get tongue-tied right about now, and we're usually not tongue-tied people, but we're kind of stepping around some landmines here. And I know that you were just dealing with a lawyer. I don't know if there's anything you could say.
Well, I just finished eating a delicious ham sandwich. As everybody knows, are the favorite food of grand juries everywhere. I happen to be a capicola with a fine, like, you know,
Swiss cheese or some bullshit and parsley on the
no,
edges.
provolone. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, well,
Also, I prefer horseradish in my ham sandwiches. So I can really only answer questions regarding ham sandwiches when it comes to my case and the secret indictment that is being written up against me. However, what they have been doing to us for the past year, to our friends, to our comrades, to our colleagues, is a far greater crime than what I'm being accused of in terms of harm on the public and harm on people who are actually peace activists and good people. So just, let it be known, whatever team you decided to root for in the election, justice, the DOJ doesn't care about justice. That's all I have to say.
They do not give a fuck. And this is the thing that we do have to concern ourselves a little bit as activists, as filmmakers, as journalists, or whatever you want to call yourself. That the repercussions of applauding that Steve Bannon's got a grand jury, that affects people like Lauren and I.
Well, I wish they were nice to me as they were to Steve Bannon. As soon as this indictment hits, they're going to be knocking on our door with guns. We know people who got raided at gunpoint with 6 kids in their own house for white collar shit, for bad paperwork. We know this, and it's the same investigators that have done that are going after us.
Well, and to be fair, they're not a pale complexion. This is BLM activists.
Yes,
they're going after them for white collar shit. Just to be clear,
but they are still raiding their house full of children at gunpoint. So yeah, we're scared.
And we are being really vague, and I'm so sorry about that.
No. You have to be vague, and we completely understand that. So don't be concerned about that. I mean, it's just as my dad would say, it bees like that sometimes.
Indeed.
So do we need to talk about things that you can talk about? So
should we give some backstory or context for the audience here? Because I feel like we just jumped in the middle of it. And for folks that haven't been following along with us, that might be problematic.
Yeah, by all means, do that.
Please do.
So I'm Rod Weber, and this is my wife and co-producer, Lauren Pespisa. We made the film 2020 The Dumpster Fire, which by and large is about the 2020 election, especially the primaries for the first half. And when COVID hits, I go straight out to the George Floyd protests, where there's the fires in Minneapolis, covering the protests of the CHOP/Chaz. In Seattle. I was out in Portland for a while, going to the protests in New York, the protests in DC, the protests everywhere. Second half of the movie is when shit hits the fan. Daryl is actually in the first scene of the second half of the movie, which kicks off the protest segment, if you will. The film also covers throughout it my lawsuit against Donald Trump, which was precipitated by events in 2016, which you saw at the front of the segment here. That was me doing the scripture with Trump. So I guess that's a good starting place as to how my 2020 came to be. And that's why I asked you to play that clip in particular. It might be hard for people to recognize me. I was the guy with the big beard in that clip. My wife is not fond of that beard or any kind of.
It gets smaller as 2020, the love story, the backstory developed.
Yeah. And so I'm going to tell you, the sequel to 2020 has been pretty interesting. I got to tell you.
Hell yeah.
It was great seeing you in Boston. It was great seeing you in Boston a couple of weeks ago to hang out with the neo-fascist hate group known as Super Happy Fun America.
Oh my God.
Yes, you have heard that correctly. Folks who have never heard of that group before, trust me, it's kind of like the Joker when it comes to calling a murderous villain the Joker. Yeah, that's what Super Happy Fun America is, except for the fact that they are really dangerous. I mean, Yeah.
And to be fair, Super Happy set the backdrop of what a lot of what I was doing in the 2020 film. They're not showed too much, but we do drop a couple Super Happy bombs throughout the movie, just like the lawsuit, which again comes from that clip there. I say it's 1 Timothy 3, 1-7. It's noble to see the office of overseer, but he who does should be above reproach, sober-minded, not quarrelsome, not a lover of money, and married only once. And so all the Trumpers, they boo me, and simultaneously they're booing the Bible. Trump doesn't really know how to handle it. And as you guys were suggesting, I didn't get pelted with tomatoes and cabbages, but I did get pelted by their fists. And
you also got shot.
Oh yeah. So I mean, that definitely that is what the reason that I wanted you to play that clip is because that is the event, that is the moment that led to the lawsuit, and that's how the complaint is written in the lawsuit. And so,
do you have the date on that? Do you remember what day that particular?
That was October. So the
2016 though, correct?
No, it was 2015. It was
2015. Yes.
So the Bible event was September of 2015 in Rochester, New Hampshire. The following event, which really ramped things up, was in October 12th of 2015. Basically, it was a week later. I went to this other event, which was a multi-candidate event. And so you have to understand at this point, Trump was not a thing. He was not a phenomenon. He was at a multi-candidate event where they gave him 15 to 20 minutes of speaking time. I went and camped out, got a front row seat, and made sure that when the Q&A came, I'd be able to call him out. And so a couple other people, were trying to get in there. But basically, as he went to Q&A, they were having problems with the microphones throughout, and there was some noise and there was some commotion. And I said, "Screw it, let's not worry about being on the microphone proper." I just stood up and hey,
sorry,
okay, and raised my hand and said, "Mr. Trump, I was assaulted at your rally in Rochester. Can you speak to that?" And right as he's responding, they plug in the PA system. There's a bunch of noise in the room. I couldn't hear exactly what he was saying, but in the playback afterwards, I saw that he said, "You look healthy to me." That was it. That was his response. So I was a little bit confused that people were acting as if something had happened, but something had. The former FBI guy taps me on the shoulder, says, "Hey, if you want to get your question in, you got to go to the back of the room. Go down that way, and you'll find the microphone there. Go to the back of the room." I kind of suspect that it's a ruse, but being a journalist, I follow through with the ruse in order to see what happens. Got my GoPro on me, and get to the back. There's no microphone. I turn around. There's a wall of Trumpers, and they're telling me I got to go. I mean, I don't mean just like MAGA heads. I mean, like official people from the campaign with the badge and all that. And long story short, they get in my face. They make a number of threats to me. You want to know my name? I'm going to put your name all over your face. This kind of. I mean, you're talking like mafiosos.
Gonna put my face all over your name.
Well, absolutely. And so they wave to some police officers and so that's a vague thing, or what I thought were police officers. There were actually technically off-duty police officers in uniform. So they weren't. So this is the thing. They were imbued with the official powers of the state, but not responsible for any of their actions because they weren't on duty. They were hired.
So that means they were kind of like, in a sense, even though they were actually cops, technically they were impersonating police officers because they weren't on duty.
Right, but so the great thing about that, though, is that it opened the case up to the KKK Act of 1871.
Interesting.
In which you can invoke color of law, which means that communications between safe catchers or police or whatever they may be can communicate through just a wink, a nod, a look of the face. And so once I was able to establish custom policy and practice, then I was able to establish that when they were making motions like this, which were shown in video, that they were actually acting in conjunction with each other. And so that was the basis of the lawsuit, which kind of set the tone for my 2020, which is the film. Now I've said a lot, I feel like someone else should talk now because I could go on.
Christian, Brian, Christian, do y'all have anything y'all want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd really love to hear how you met and how you've developed a relationship with Vermin Supreme, because he's an interesting character, and he's a pretty big deal on the political satirical left or whatever the hell we're involved in over here. But how did that get started, man?
He's just from the neighborhood.
He's actually his dad. Like, in fact, actually, Rod is Vermin Supreme, who traveled back in time to kill baby Hitler.
Lady Hitler. So there was
from New Hampshire. There's no neighborhood in New Hampshire. You live in the middle of the fucking woods.
Vermin's just this guy.
Vermin is not from New Hampshire. That's a common misconception.
Yeah.
And even people say that I'm from New Hampshire, and we're not.
They're from the internet.
Back to my original question then. How'd you guys meet? And what hood are you talking about?
We're all from the Boston area, including Vermin Supreme. Well, we met. There's kind of a circuit for the Boston people up to Manchester, and so
it's like an hour away.
Manchester is where the New Hampshire primaries really happens.
Joe Biden's up there, like today.
And part of the lawsuit was that I sued the Manchester police. These were the people that were involved. And
hold up for a minute. We got some background noise that just sound like really gross.
Yeah, who's got the motorcycle?
That was in the background. That's my dog running around. Yeah, sorry.
But I just it didn't sound like motorcycles.
That was a motorcycle going up the block. Yeah.
But so the New Hampshire primaries become actually kind of a very small world because it almost takes entirely in Manchester and Concord. Concord is where the State House is. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of things happen with Secretary of State Bill Gardner, who is in charge of who gets to be on the ballot. And Vermin's always there. I'm always there, and there's just a core group of people that you see just by going to the New Hampshire primaries. And we couldn't help but be friends with. He's got a boot on his head, and at the time, I was doing my shtick, handing out flowers. To make friends with the candidates and reading scripture to them.
I met Vermin.
Sounds like the beginning of every love story I've ever heard.
Orgy at Vermin's house. I met him in 2013 at RaffleCon, where a lot of my friends were speaking on, like, a lot of memes. A lot of my friends are memes. And there was a meme convention at MIT. Might have been 2012. And he actually gave a little blurb for my thing about, at the time, she was called Bradley Manning, but now Chelsea Manning, because I was there with people supporting Chelsea Manning. And it's really cute. There's a picture of me and Vermin, from 12 years ago. Have I known Vermin longer than
First time I ever met him. Oh, no.
He's just always around.
Yeah, I heard of him I've heard of him years past. I heard of this Vermin Supreme guy that used to go to the conventions like as far back as I would say 94, but not 94, but like 92 and 96 and all that. I would hear about him. I didn't actually meet him until like 2000. I was just right now looking for that video when I actually videotaped him. That was my first meeting of him, and it's on Twitter somewhere actually.
Right, and everybody documents their first meeting of Vermin Supreme.
Yes, you all remember your first time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the thing is that we just kind of we obviously hit it off, and we saw each other left and right, no matter where we went. And ultimately, I ended up directing the 2016 film about Vermin called This Is Vermin Supreme, which in a sense is a sequel to Who is Vermin Supreme, the 2012 film directed by Steve Onderich,
who's also a longtime friend.
Good friend of ours.
And Biff was in that. from Back to the Future, wasn't he?
Yeah. He
called him Boothead. What are you looking at, Boothead?
No, are you talking about Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future?
Not Christopher Lloyd. Tom Wilson, who played Biff.
Biff Tannen.
I played Biff.
I understand that. But so Christopher Lloyd is in This Is Vermin Supreme. And we do talk about time travel with him. And the guy who plays Biff was standing right next to him.
Right. Yeah.
That's too funny.
Circle.
And in fact, Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings, who plays one of the hobbits, man, he spotted me and Vermin. Well, he really spotted Vermin, but with the boot on his head from afar while he was attending one of these Comic Cons. He's like, "Boothead guy, come over here. I want to talk to you." And they end up getting in the longest conversation, which his handlers and all his fans were so upset about because they're waiting in line to get a signature or whatever. And he's like, "No, hold on. Like, I got to talk to this guy with a boot on his head about time travel. I've heard about this guy. We're getting in a deep conversation." And Vermin actually gave him a good schooling about what it meant to be an anarchist, because Sean Astin's initial reaction was, wait, like Mad Max, like you're for Bedlam and the streets burning. And Vermin got into Kropotkin and mutual aid, and even talking about, so it's like, okay, so mutual aid Vermin says that like there's a natural state of anarchism, not only when you're a child, but like when there's a hurricane, there's no government forces around, and so people have to band together in order to help each other. And to tie that back into what's going on with Lauren and I, there's been a damn lot of people that are sending in these letters of support, to try to keep Lauren out of jail here. Who have brought up during the pandemic that was the first thing. Lauren got laid off from her job because they went under, and Lauren went directly into mutual aid mode, out of her own wallet, to make sure that grandma.
Well, my unemployment was pretty good.
Okay. Maybe you want to talk about that? I don't know.
Well, Alston Brighton Mutual Aid, for a lot of like local neighborhood mutual aid groups formed at the time, and people were setting up community fridges. I was helping at the local Alston Brighton food pantry. Since I wasn't working, it was very easy to go help the old people who usually unload the truck with my big strong arms, and pick up medications for elderly neighbors who are afraid of getting COVID by even just going to the pharmacy. And it was sort of like just this ad hoc system that was created, but there was also group chats about it. And this is how, I guess this is what doing an anarchy actually is, right? I was helping there, one of my friend's mothers was 80 and her husband was in the nursing home for surgery. He ended up dying of COVID, unfortunately. But I was, the house was a mess, kind of a hoarder situation, but it was like, I did not want her to trip and fall. So I was going over all the time with my friends and helping clean up so that this 80-year-old woman wouldn't fall. Also, she wanted to go take a walk to CVS. Okay, wear your mask. I'll go in the store for you. That kind of thing. I had very close relationships with many people during the initial pandemic shutdown, ground zero situation in Boston, until the George Floyd stuff started up, and then it's time to get out of the house. But there was a lot of things that I was doing. I was also helping, because there are people who are still working who are passing by people overdosing. And I had a friend, actually a neighbor, who is a harm reduction person who had tons of Narcan, the thing that reverses overdose. And we have a huge opiate issue in Boston. And, there was no one on the streets except people who were overdosing, and no one's calling to help. So I made sure that my friends who worked at City Hall and, were still working, had Narcan, know how to use it. I did distribute Narcan to people that ended up using it on people. And And this was not like something I was trying to like actually talk about. This was just like normal to
Yeah,
me.
she was
This is
just
what you
doing
just
it,
do.
you know?
Like
Yeah,
when
I
you take off. Like this is, I guess this is anarchy because is this what anarchy is? I mean, I always thought anarchy was a Mad Max thing too, but I realized that we need to take care of ourselves. And actually, I do believe in the inherent good in most people.
Well, see,
And I
that's
think
one of the things.
we
I
need
mean,
this.
yeah, I had to learn. I had to learn about anarchism through actually a DVD, actually a PBS broadcast of something called Anarchism in America, and it goes back to 1980s, and it just ran down all the facets of anarchism. I mean, Murray Bochkin is in it. This dude named Carl Hess is in it, who used to be a Republican speechwriter or something like that. Then he became full-on anarchist, which actually really was just libertarianism.
Right, right.
But you also had folks on there. I mean, like I said, multifaceted. Had some people that used to roll with Emma Goldman. I remember this is 1980, so a lot of them were still alive.
One of our friends knew that person.
Yeah, Sturmer, I think her name was.
Yeah.
There was also what's their names? Oh yeah, the Dead Kennedys. They was in it, and then there was just some random. Oh yeah, they did show the Libertarian Party and Harry Brown from back then in 1980, which was weird. If you guys know about the Libertarian candidates of 1980, Harry Brown was the presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party.
Jared Taylor or Jared?
No. Harry Brown. I believe that's Harry Brown. He was a regular.
Okay. I don't know.
But
Were they still racist?
well, the running mate was David Koch.
Oh, weird.
Yes. I remember reading about that.
Well,
Yes.
So-
Okay.
Now Daryl's using his old
Is
man
that the
power.
campaign where he
All this
minted
going
a
on.
coin to himself?
Huh?
Is that the campaign where he minted a coin for himself?
I don't
promote
think
the-
he did that back
Yes.
then.
If you look out there, there is a campaign coin that Koch minted for his campaign with him on him on one side and the presidential candidate on the other.
Oh,
But you
God.
know what they did? It was really interesting too.
Not too narcissistic.
Because it wasn't just about just like political structure or anything like that. There were some people that they had on the show that were in the documentary. They got into the yippies. Want to throw that in there too. But they also talked about people who were just working and doing things and setting up institutions and establishments, like independent truckers or some sort of collective that wasn't necessarily political, but it still had anarchist roots to it. So it was really important for me because I saw this in '96 when I was protesting the Democratic Convention, and during the Democratic Convention they had this like little unconvention thing happening, which meant also a film festival. This was the film I ran into, and it helped me to understand exactly what direction I was going into. By the time '96 was over, I was pretty much full on radicalized like a motherfucker because of the DVD. It's on my shelf right now. And
I'll have to watch it.
we gotta watch it.
I didn't even know I was doing anarchism until everyone said it was anarchism. I thought it was like socialism kind of in a way. Like I don't know, because it was a lot of PSA people,
Socialists the socialist takeover have a nasty habit of just like
right.
But
they do elect mayors though.
But they can do things politically pretty easily. But when it comes to actually producing results and getting things done, I don't diss socialism at all. I don't diss socialists at all. But when you really want to put your pedal to the metal, you gotta be an anarchist.
Yeah, that makes sense. They have too many meetings.
So I want to ask Rod and Lauren. I know you've got Trump in the film. I think you have Biden. Who are some other notable people in the film?
So Buttigieg was just all over the place.
Oh, yes.
I'll tell you that much. I could not get away from this dude.
He's not going away. He's not going away. We're stuck with Buttigieg for like the next 30 years. That guy is not going away.
And we know that he did a significant amount of training after he was in the Army or one of the military branches and became this CIA puppet. And it seems to me that he may or may not be some kind of a plant. in order to get a CIA influence. And one of my favorite interactions with him is that I'm following after him, and I say, Joe, Pete Buttigieg, which branch of the CIA is more powerful, yours or Donald Trump's? And just
he likes that.
Just generally challenging him to debate, and I don't know.
You kind of hit on him too.
Yeah, no,
but Tulsi Gabbard hit on you.
Come again?
Tulsi Gabbard loved him. She's in it too. She loved Rod. I got jealous. I had to make him cut out things.
Come on.
Everybody was in it. Everyone who ran.
You're not just gonna throw that shit out there and not tell the story. You can't just move. We can't get past something like that.
She's like, oh, Irish looks scared. I remember
what?
you.
No, that is not a thing.
She did say.
If she is watching, you. God help us all.
Come back to Hawaii with me, Rod. Come back to Hawaii.
That did not happen. My wife is extrapolating things out of jealousy here.
She liked Rod a lot. I was very jealous.
Also,
every candidate was in it from the that was in primaries.
All right, so you have to understand my rule of thumb in interacting with any of the candidates is that I'd give them a serious question, and if they could be serious with me, then I'd give them the respect that they'd paid to me. If they were incapable of doing that, I'd go full-on clown show. And we would troll the fucking shit out of them.
So what was the ratio of clown show to not clown show?
Bernie was nice.
Pretty heavy on the clowns, I'm going to have to say.
Marianne Williamson was nice.
Marianne was super nice. She was super nice, but I only met her the night that she was dropping out. So I didn't get to have a lot of interactions.
You never got to meet Mike Gravel. That's
that
the
is true.
biggest. That's the worst.
Oh man, rest in peace. He just passed away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're big fans. We're big fans of the new movie that his people put out too.
Yep. So I met Cory Booker. Cory Booker was full on clown show. I I asked him about Blue No Matter Who, and he's like, Blue No Matter Who? How dare you, sir? And he nearly got out his white glove. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, that sounds like Cory.
Did he even know what you meant? Wait, huh?
I don't know. Maybe he was confused. Jeb is a mess.
What?
Jeb loves you.
Jeb did love me back in 2016. I did 24 rallies with him in which he pulled me up on stage to cite scripture. So that was the other thing. Jeb was nice to me. So I had to play along for 24 rallies.
The other Bush, Jeb.
The crazy thing
Jeb
about the Bush family.
So it wasn't just that he was nice; he was inviting me on stage.
He was looking for you.
Crazy thing, the thing that irks the living daylights about the Bush family. I mean, the crazy thing is that if you take them out of the politics, if you take them out of the political scene, they are the nicest people in the freaking world.
Have you seen George?
If they didn't have a single political opinion, you would trust them with your life.
It's weird.
But because they do have the political opinions that they have, no, you would not.
Dude, Jeb invited me to meet his mom, and it was like such a mom moment. And so I met.
My goodness!
What I'm
my
saying,
mother would have loved.
Do you have a picture with Barbara Bush? Please tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
He got him and Cornel West a hug.
Yes. Yeah. Cornell showed up. This is the thing. You cannot even make this shit up, dude. And so there's Manchester, New Hampshire, and then South Carolina has a similar thing down for their primaries. And there's this a nice little joint where with this big pig logo down there. I forget the name of the place, but I guess everyone goes there. And I see Cornell, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And I start chatting with him. And I'm like, he's like, what are you doing here? And I said, I went to this Jeb Bush rally, and he thought that was weird. And I'm like, wait, there he is. You got to, go talk. And so I get Jeb and Cornell to talk, and they hug, and it was weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
You brought Cornel West and Jeb Bush together.
There's video. It happened.
For real. I hung out with Neil Bush. A very lesser known Bush.
Neil Bush. I forgot
sorry.
about
I'm so sorry.
I don't want to. There's Joe Arpaio. Of course, you talked to him.
Oh yeah, Joe Arpaio's in it. He's
Oh.
gonna
Yeah.
sue us. It's gonna be great.
Kent State Gun Girl was in it, according to Anti-Google.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Caitlin
Caitlin
Bennett.
Bennett.
Oh, I'm
That's
That's her name. I forgot
Oh,
her
the
name.
poop
Yeah,
girl.
I mean that was like the prelude to suck Trump's cock. So I mean, so that was at this Manchester rally once again in 2019,
Damn,
and
that Manchester rally was a treasure trove.
oh yeah, dude, you got to understand. There's like hundreds of Manchester rallies. It's mostly Manchester or Goffstown, just on the outskirts, or then there's some that you go up to Concord for, but it's mostly just Manchester. And you know, Trump was playing at the stadium, and I say playing because he's doing it like a comedian or a rock star, and people would even say that. There and honestly, they were having a cake party in the
Yeah, it was
street.
actually pretty fun looking. It's like a keg party.
They were straight up having a cake party. You can see I opened the shots of that scene. These guys the Trumpers pounding beer. They're inviting me to have Bud Lights, and I shotgunned some beers with them. And you know,
Wait, they were drinking Bud Lights? That sounds like what a Trumper would drink.
100%. I mean, even back in 2016, I went to this Trump rally in Michigan, and it was in a place where you could actually buy Bud Lights, like at the Trump at the rally. Like
Okay.
everyone had Bud Lights like in the rally.
Bud Light, the official.
Yeah, so like a concert, the official beer of Trump's shitty campaign.
Yeah, it was like a concert, and you don't see that with anyone else. And
Yeah.
they were in a venue where no one really thought he was going to be a thing. And I kept saying to people, he's going to be a thing. Stop this man. You know, but you know, I'm no one.
Because you know, a lot of times, I mean, I'm one of those folks that said, look, he was not going to be a thing, because my attitude was, we know better.
No,
Afterwards, it was kind of like, we don't know better.
nope.
You
And
know
now-
better.
and
We know
now-
better.
Yeah, but
They
we
don't know better.
But now I'm at the point where I'm sitting here in 2021 is, I know better than to keep those motherfuckers who don't know better.
So I remember
further.
I remember the first time that I went on the record saying that Donald Trump would be president, and it was at a Trump rally in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, and you were there, and it was the first time that I met you, actually, and you were arguing with a group of it was basically there was a bunch of high school kids that were in opposition to Trump, and like a handful of people that were true believers, adults. With their backward, confounded Trump opinions. And this Lawrenceville rally was at a military base. And so InfoWars was there, and they were going around cherry picking interviews with high school students. And my objective on that day, much like my objective this past Sunday, was to ruin interviews. And so I went hopping around from interview to interview. And I actually started, this is the weird thing, I started to become frenemies with the producers at InfoWars, because after you spend a couple, hold on now.
All the things.
Don't look at me like that, okay? But
Hey. Just as long as you don't get hit with any kind of penalties that Alex Jones is going to get.
No.
We have our own.
It's not like that, but you know what I'm saying? It's like you talk to these, like Joe Biggs. Joe Biggs was one of the Capitol riders, and Joe Biggs was at this shit. And like after you yell at him, like, and I'd be like screaming in their faces.
Wait, time out. Are you saying Joe Biggs was at the Lawrenceville thing?
No, Joe Biggs was not at Lawrenceville. I'm just saying, like at that time he was an InfoWars producer, but I'm bringing him up because he's well known. Okay, but so he would be at these things, and you ruin his interviews for 2 hours straight. And afterwards, you know, you're sitting on the curb, your producer's smoking a cigarette. I quit smoking 12 years ago or something. But anyhow, what point being is you're sitting around and it's like, hey, so you're here again. All right. Like, you just, I don't know. Like, you're just, so see you at the next one. I don't like, it's like a weird thing.
I know the feeling. I mean,
like even like Samson of Super Happy Fun America, like we're like, it's not like I mean at this point they seem really bitter, but we're like, hey, see you at the next one.
You know who that reminds me of? I have that kind of a relationship with this blogger named Elad out of New York City. You met him.
Yeah. So Elad was in the thing with Caitlin Bennett. He He was in the middle of
Oh, that
interviewing her
guy.
ass. Yeah, Elad from
Oh.
Barely Informed. That's the name of his
Yeah,
podcast.
not in my head. Yeah.
And he was doing this shit in Manchester, and he was in the middle of this interview, and someone whispers to me, and he's like, "Ask about the poopy pants. Ask about the poopy pants." And so he's like, so I asked about the poopy pants. And he's like, wait, what's going on here? And so we get into a larger discussion about it's like you pooped in your pants. Wait, hold on. Do you want? So Caitlin's like, did you want me to poop in my pants?
Which is a great response.
Hey,
I gotta give her credit for that.
Like, I don't know. I'm a thin man and I only eat vegan food. I could not determine what you're eating that would make you poop in your pants. And it went back and forth like that.
It made it sound like she offered to poop her pants, and
she did.
I feel like
it was
really
really weird.
I feel like they had
I just want to make a point here that I am a fan of the band Brass Against.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to go there this week. I love Sophia. And for those who don't know, just go on Twitter.
It's okay. Now, no, do not cheer that shit. No,
what?
I didn't know. I didn't know why you were cheering.
Because it was consensual.
Oh my God. No.
It was. It was. I mean,
it was, but no. Come on.
It's fine.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
She's about to be investigated herself. Police are looking for her over it.
Well, she can. I can send her my lawyer's contact info.
Yeah, some people don't even know what the hell we're talking about. So now I got to tell everybody. There's this band called Brass Against. They play rock songs, but with a brass band.
Yeah, we have something like that in Somerville.
And they're out of sight. They do a lot of Rage Against the Machine covers. They do Tool. They're opening up for Tool in a couple of weeks. I hope but now they're being called Rage Against the Latrine. And oh no. And this is why, for those who don't know, Sophia Uribe, who's their lead singer, beautiful woman, downright beautiful woman, was getting into the performance, and somebody in the audience asked her to pee on him.
She had to go.
I cast thee out, Satan. I cast thee out.
What's the big
Brought him
deal?
up on stage, dropped trowel, and
why the fuck are we talking about?
she came into that meeting.
Everybody get over yourselves. It's fine. She hit.
I am not
DJ
sweating. I'm just trying to keep from saying the worst puns in the world just by accident when I talk about the band.
She was facing like sideways, so you couldn't see her private parts.
Are we
so
still
it wasn't
recording this?
exposure.
Are we recording this?
It's not R. Kelly, okay? It's fine.
Oh, this is live.
It seems
Oh,
a little
yeah,
bit like
no,
go back
it's
ahead.
consenting adult.
I'm
He was loving every minute.
I mean, it sucks. I mean, for me personally, it sucks as a fan that this is what they're going to be known for. On the other hand, fuck it.
Yep.
I didn't know they existed until I saw this blow up, and I'm like, hey,
They're not shaking this. They're not shaking this. This is
it. This is biting head off the bats level.
This is who they are now.
You are now, but it's like so funny because my
can I
boy.
say something?
Yes.
Well, when you're not that good at music, you have to do crazy shit for it.
But they are.
Dude,
They are.
they're a cover band.
Brass
They're a
band.
cover band, and
Fuck
it's
that.
mediocre.
No.
It's a
They
cover
are
band.
bad
They're a
as
cover
hell.
band.
They are nice as hell. They're
You know,
nice.
I wasn't a big fan of Pussy
They're
Riot.
nice as hell, and they're good at playing their instruments. But come on, there's real music.
I mean, I'm not really always big on cover bands, really all that much. But it's kind of like, we're getting into the music segment of the show.
Yes, I like this part.
But I really don't care for cover bands all that much. But when you get creative with it,
You
then
just like it because the singer's really hot. You got the hots for the singer, so you think the band is great. But
I'll be honest with you, I'm also a fan of Mac Sabbath, and Mac Sabbath is just basically a cover band that.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of them?
Oh yeah.
No, Brian, have you ever heard of them?
I have, and I've heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If we're doing the music segment, me and Lauren are obsessed with Bill McClintock and DJ Cumberbund. You know,
Mashups.
Oh, the mashups!
Yes!
Oh, yes! Oh,
Yeah.
I just saw one that made me cry.
So like Donna Summer meets Danzig. mother, but it's like like
Yeah, but it's like Bad Girls.
Bad like
Well,
It's like
how
it's
about
own...
the one that did Stand Up for Your Rights mashed up with Rebel Yell?
Yeah, we love that one.
Right now, Christian and Brian are like, "What the fuck is going on here? Where did we lose this?"
Well, I mean, I know Rebel Yell. That's
I know these
Billy
words
Idol.
put together.
But I just saw one that just made me have to turn it off after 30 seconds because I was like too busy laughing my head off.
But so it's Rebel Yell meets Bob Marley. So like
you got to see it. It's on YouTube.
It's
There's a whole series. There's a whole series of Led Zeppelin Black Sabbath mashups of Robert Plant singing to Black Sabbath and vice versa.
But try Black Sabbath. Try Metallica with ABBA.
Yep.
Oh,
I don't think I will.
Louis Lewis in the News.
New Metallica.
Yes, they did that.
Post pre the Black Album or post the Black Album?
It's Enter Sandman with Drug.
No, it's Enter with Hip to Be a Square.
Yeah, that's right. Hip to be a Sandman.
I'm one of those old fuddy-duddies that thinks they haven't done shit good since like 1989. You know,
I'm there too, but
that's true.
But this is different. This is very different. I assure you, you will not be upset.
The juxtaposition is the art.
We have really gotten off topic here.
Oh no! This is what happens when we start to And by the way, while I am on the subject of creative cover bands,
Joe Biden wrote the Patriot Act.
Huh? What?
Joe Biden wrote the Patriot Act. Now we're all screwed.
That's on the dumpster fire. But I got to throw in Postmodern Jukebox. Everybody got to check out Postmodern Jukebox. So trust me on that one. Cover songs done in like oldie time.
My sister and brother-in-law went to go see them in Asbury. They were in Asbury like a couple of years ago before the pandemic. My sister went to go see them. She likes them.
They were just up in Rahway where just a couple of weeks ago, not too far away from where Nikola Tesla had his shop.
His Tesla coils.
Yes. Nikola Tesla was responsible for lighting up Rahway, New Jersey.
His wireless electricity powered by the lizard people. And
they have his bust at the train station in Rahway.
Right.
And he famously grounded his lab by digging a hole underneath the house or the lab he was doing and digging over to the city sewer system and illegally claimed because he was doing such big shit. He needed a massive ground rod. So he dug underneath to the sewer system and clamped onto the sewer system and used it as ground.
And when he died, John Trump, which is Donald Trump's uncle, was the one who inherited the paperwork there. Right. And we covered that in This Is Vermin Supreme because there's a conspiracy theory that John Trump gave that over to a time traveler named John Titor.
Yes,
and
the computer guy.
This internet thing, which is a precursor to
this is not lies, people. This is actually true.
No, this is big in the conspiracy stuff that I'm into.
This is not a real thing. This is
no. I mean, John Trump got the. I'm just saying.
John Trump did actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The time traveling thing. No.
John Trump, that part is real. That John Trump got the Tesla papers, and you can see Donald Trump talking about it, which is because this became part of the "This Is Vermin Supreme" story in the documentary. There's a whole segment about it, and these conspiracy theorists talk about it. And Vermin and I speak with Donald Trump Jr. about time travel, tying it into all of that, and it really hurts my brain to think that somehow we made this interaction happen. It's just like Cornel West and Jeb Bush. There's no reason on God's green earth that these things should be happening, but somehow it did. I captured it on film, and it's a moment that I'm very proud of.
You're like the Forrest Gump of political trolling.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Next door to Rahway is a town known as Edison.
Oh,
and yes, it was named after Edison because his lab was actually probably about a mile and a half from the Rahway train station. So the lab, I believe that Tesla probably worked at. I thought Tesla worked at one.
Yeah, but he was like, wasn't Edison kind of an asshole?
Oh, Edison was a mobster. Edison was a mobster.
Is now regarded as an asshole now. Yeah. Edison has been established to be certified asshole, but
certified.
about 50, 60 years ago, they needed to change the name of their town because it was called Raritan, New Jersey. Edison at one time was called Raritan, New Jersey. The problem with that is that there are 3 Raritans at this time in the state of New Jersey. And they said, you know what? We have to change the names of 2 of these towns. So it was a toss-up between calling the Raritan that we are familiar with here either Edison or Nixon.
Okay. Well,
and I don't think the Nixon part had anything to do with Richard Milhouse. I just think I think it had to do with somebody else.
Terrible.
But they went with Edison because I guess they had the foresight.
What about Westinghouse? Whatever happened to Westinghouse?
They're still around. Don't they make like sewing machines or like microwaves or something now?
They actually used to make cheap TVs.
But speaking of Nixon, one of the things that Donald Trump the man. So I named Donald Trump the man, the company, and the campaign in my lawsuit. And the thing that he asserted was the Nixon versus Fitzgerald case, saying that a standing president can't be named in a lawsuit. Now, obviously, the Roosters are coming to hatch on that one, and everyone's going after him. And Summer Zervos just dropped her, so I assume they settled. But I hope he gets fucked by Steve Bannon. I bringing it back to what we're doing. The grand juries that are being held, I honestly believe are a result of my lawsuit against Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, like they basically said it.
So I should say, after everything that happened in 2016, I did the suing of Donald Trump. The suing of Donald Trump culminated on December 23rd of 2020, in which the Trump campaign conceded, and they wrote me a check for $20,000. The Manchester police wrote one for $15,000. Shortly after that, let's say it was week and a half. January 6th happened. A couple of days after that, federal agents came and approached me.
And they specifically asked you about the.
No, they
specifically mentioned.
They specifically bring up the lawsuit, and they're pretty butthurt over. Oh, you're making a good amount of money there, buddy, huh? And but they accuse me of a plot to assassinate Donald Trump, and they say that the trailer for our film, 2020, The Dumpster Fire, is the reason, and the reason. They got under the umbrella of their January 6th investigations. They interviewed this Proud Boy. The Proud Boy says that somehow
Antifa's assassinating the president.
There's something in the trailer there which would suggest this assassination plot, and this has led to the 10-month investigation, which Lauren and I and probably at least a half dozen, if not a dozen, of our associates have been subjected to. There's been at least 5 grand juries at this stage.
17 plus knocks, about 20 knocks.
At least 17 visits by FBI agents that we know. Like, I lost count at that point. I think it's probably up around 20. But I'm trying to think of so FBI visits after. So they say when you're lawyered up, they're not allowed to talk to you. And they keep showing up even against that. And so this goes back to Agent Andy Creed, who's a Boston cop deputized as JTTF by FBI. He identifies as the FBI.
But he's Joint Terrorism Task Force.
He introduces himself as FBI, but he's deputized as JTTF, Joint Terrorism Task Force.
And they have very little oversight, and they report to Boston Regional Intelligence Center.
Otherwise known as
BRIC. And it's extremely hard to find out what they're doing. And so much federal money goes into it, basically giving BPD officers license to do whatever they want. There's a lot of people in the ACLU and other organizations fighting against the power that BRIC has. They're the ones who operate the gang database, where basically if your cousin got caught doing something and, he's got a friend who's a gang member, now you're on the gang database because your cousin is. It's the same group. It's BRIC, and they write reports and they lie, and it's like a gossip column for cops.
So in those some of those videos that I shared in your DMs, Daryl, you can see that this agent in May, after we're lawyered up, shows.
Did you want us to show that?
I put it public. It's public now.
Okay. All right. It's public.
Grand jury's tomorrow.
I'm getting rated in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, I gotta say, we got 3 minutes in, and I definitely want to make sure that before we even get out of here, we gotta let people know how to support you. So can you speak on that?
So we have a change.org petition, which is not really enough. We applied for a GoFundMe and they rejected us. We're going to be posting it.
Well, Rod, you need to pick your wording better. We'll make another GoFundMe and it'll be better. If Kyle Rittenhouse could do a GoFundMe, how the hell could we get to rejected?
Yeah,
but we're about $15,000 deep with the lawyers.
This has been very
so all those Trump bucks that I won in the lawsuit, it's fleeting away. It's not entirely gone, but they have been effective in their mission to stifle our First Amendment speech, which is quite honestly what we're doing and making a promotional trailer. We were making a satirical statement in this promo, and basically going after Lauren, going after my wife because they couldn't get at me.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
Yeah, no, that's going back.
My life.
Going back to Martin Luther King and telling him to commit suicide because they got dirt on him. I mean, listen, we're not in the ballpark with. I shouldn't have even said that. We're not MLK. We're a fucking clown show over here. But
Clown Tifa.
But the point being is the tactics remain the same.
Yes, they're a gang.
Yes, they are a gang, and they are behaving as such.
Yeah.
And so we've lawyered up, and we're doing the best we can.
There will be some, if shit hits the fan, there will be some kind of forthcoming fundraiser of some sort. Whether I'm around or not, I am.
Oh, you'll be around. You'd be around because there's a lot of people here that are saying, "Yo, we will have your back," including us. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the show.
I appreciate it. I'm like the nicest person. What the hell?
Yeah,
why have I been targeted for most of my life? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, we'll stop that for at least we'll be able to slow it down a little bit. I can't promise that we'll stop it. But,
but also another way to support is all I ever wanted was for people to see this movie.
Yes, and
all
and
that. It's such
definitely
a good movie.
Now people are going to get a chance to see it.
Yeah.
I've already seen it and I think it's great. I don't know if there's been any more edits since I last saw it about a year ago, but I definitely, now you said, because we're closing out now, you said it's on, it's going to be on this in theaters on December 7th. Is that still happening?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's going to be on Apple TV now on December 15th.
That is the wishy-washy date they have given us, and so because we said to them, it is called 2020 is in the title. You do not fucking let it go beyond that. They've been wishy-washy on this thing about the trailer, and so I don't know what that's about, but I have this other suspicion. They're trying to do a Christmas thing.
We had a great Christmas trailer.
If that's a thing, fine, because I guess that's a bigger deal. We're contenders for the it's been submitted to the AMPAs, the American Society of it's the Oscars.
The Oscars.
It's been accepted to maybe be looked at by the people who decide who gets nominated for the Oscars. Which means some old dudes have to watch it.
I'm not delusional enough to believe that it's not.
Never say never. You're talking to somebody who was technically an Oscar winner, so
yeah, that's your name's on there. They're gonna remember you. It might help.
I mean, I got my IMDb. Well, it doesn't have Oscar on the IMDb.
Wait, was it nominated? I thought it was just nominated, or was
it won?
It won
Best Short because there was two things, but not the feature, but the short in 2019. That won the Oscar.
Well, damn it! Now I have to fix my tweet because I said that not only is Daryl Lamont Jenkins the producer of 2020 Dumpster Fire, he's also the Oscar nominated. I said Oscar nominated producer of Skin. Well, I got to fix that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm one of those folks who you just got the credit, that kind of thing. But
But you're in our movie,
I'm definitely in the movie. I'm not wearing this shirt, but I'm wearing one of my other favorite shirts.
Yeah, you're in Skin in the sense that you're played
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the feature. That's the feature.
That actor is not as handsome as you.
Well, he definitely has a lot less body fat than I do. That's for damn sure.
Well, come on.
I wonder who will
Mike
play me in my
Coulter
mouth.
is also in the TV show Evil.
Yeah, he's Luke Cage.
Yeah, and well, he's not Luke Cage in Evil, but he's he's Luke Cage in Netflix. And hopefully, if Marvel is like doing the multiverse thing, he'll show up in that again. So because I really want to see where Luke Cage ends up. They should have continued that story, and I really hope they do. In any case, we gotta cut out because I gotta go to work tomorrow in the morning. I'm still a working class dude. I don't care what people say. And it won't be in this office. I gotta do manual labor. So I want to thank everybody for being. I want to thank Rod and Lauren for coming here for the third time. There will be a fourth and a fifth and a sixth as time goes on. Maybe we'll just make it a monthly thing here.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. Congratulations, man. I can't wait to see the movie. We'll be plastering it all over.
Everyone's gonna love it. I'm so excited for everybody to see it.
I'm actually most excited for everyone to try to help keep Lauren out of jail.
Everybody, it's fine. It'll be fine.
It's not fine.
It's not fine.
We're worried about you.
But the movie is like really important. But yes, if you can help me stay out of jail, that'd be nice too.
Yeah, I mean, we have to sit down. Since had so much discussion about anarchism, I have to sit you down and teach you about the immortal science of Marxism, Leninism. You know that, right?
Oh,
I mean, you are wearing this shirt.
Like this, Brian.
Oh yeah. Wait, I thought it was just a banana.
No, it's a banana.
It's a banana.
Oh, it's the banana.
It really pisses off the alt-right though.
Oh. Okay.
Like,
Okay. That's what it is.
That's why I want my shirt. That's why I want my shirt so bad.
I like it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Thanks
send
a lot,
that
guys.
to you. We'll send it to you like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Brian, remember, I still am maintaining that Abraham Lincoln was in fact a Marxist in the truest sense.
Yeah, no, I remember that episode, and for sure.
I'm still gonna maintain that. Christian's gonna kick my ass. But
was he gay?
Well, I mean, he's the founder of the Log Cabin Republican, so
Yeah.
I think so.
Also, he was gay.
Very funny. By default, he was. That was all right, y'all. I want to thank y'all for coming out. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. It was a hell of a show. Christian, thank you for being around again. Brian, thank you for being around. Now, as for being around, we will not be around next week. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm 350 pounds, so you know what I'll be doing. In any case, we will be back in I guess the week after, the Tuesday after 2 weeks from today. And we're going to still don't know what we're going to be doing on the show. We still got to get my boy Not For Profit on this program. We're going to be working on that, I guess, in the next couple of days or weeks. I'm gonna hit him up as soon as I can. But aside from that, I want everybody to have a good holiday. It begins, y'all. Thanksgiving starts it, Christmas ends it, or rather, no, not Christmas. New Year's ends it because we still got Christmas, Kwanzaa. Diwali, I think, has already passed. Hanukkah, of course, everybody's gonna have Festivus for the rest of us. Yeah, and I did say rest of years because I can't say y'all because it doesn't rhyme. In any case, I want to just let everybody know to definitely support Rod and Lauren. Watch The Dumpster Fire. It'll be coming out soon, December 7th in theaters. Hopefully December 15th on Apple TV. It will be on Apple TV. Don't worry. As for me and everybody, just be here in 2 weeks. We're going to have a really good time no matter what we have planned. Hopefully that we won't have any ridiculous things happening between then and now because we don't want to miss talking about it. But like I said, y'all have a good holiday. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. And as I always like to say, peace!